right, greetings, I'm Jonas. Okay, so all right, on this late Sunday, early Monday, it's 12:30 in the morning. So we're going to Parallel Earth. Continue with the Parallel Earth energies, the Observer, kind of like the Men in Black. I guess they can cancel this out if they want to. They look like Men in Black people. I don't think they're Men in Black. They could easily, but you can literally erase somebody from our reality, and I'm still observing the observers. So tapping more into those realities, more like the multiverse, but the other version of Earth, the correct battling another universe. I mean, if it's mentioned, it's happening in some form or another. We just have to start understanding of it more. Once again, that's where the Mandela effect comes in. And the more that you understand different realities, it's funny how the show Fringe, where they connect to another version of themselves, they're just wearing a wig, which is hilarious. It's like, hey, there's another version of me that's just wearing a wig, so it's funny. You can actually have a lot of fun with that on YouTube. You can probably make your own other versions of yourself online. Some do that actually, not even realizing it. So tap into the Observer and get a point of view of that. So it's similar to a Men in Black being, but basically it's like a being from the future that's keeping an eye on us to make sure that it makes sense to make sure that we follow the timeline that we agreed to. Let's say it can be altered. That's true. But there's some factors in the main timeline that have to happen. That comes from astral, and that's where it gets a little bit dicey, you can say. Certain events have to happen. Just agreements, the universe, whatever's going on in the universe, wars in the universe, etc. Something like that. But if you go against what reality is set for you, obviously they can attack you or just things won't happen. You just have to go with the flow, basically. But yeah, you can get in a power, some kind of powered position and start abusing it or whatever it might be, then you suddenly die or whatever it is. So, just different ways of looking at it. But yeah, there's like the observers are kind of like, I guess, our guardians of our timeline, you can say. I don't know how you want to word it, but something like that. Obviously, you come from a normal person's point of view. Obviously, it's just not what the hell they're talking about, but that's okay. And also the multiverse machine. So in Fringe, it has like a machine that looks like a Christ-like thing. You put your arm. I'll show a picture of it. It's like a Jesus machine, technically. You get kind of like you get on the cross and it sends you to another version of Earth. Now, is that here like something similar to that? I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know how that would work. That's a little bit deep when you think about it. I mean, obviously there's stargates here. So there's mostly some kind of machine that takes you to another version of Earth. Of course, stargates are technically like that, but they mostly take you to another planet. But also, they can't take you to another version of Earth, like a form of a stargate. So there's no way to prove any of this. That'd be nice if there would be. I have to further tap into this. I mean, the Stargate energies, I've been letting that sink in for a while, so I can definitely feel those, especially in Iraq, Yemen, even South America, some areas there. It's like an ancient ruin that looks like a doorway. That can be a Stargate. There's different ways of looking at it. But to go to a multiverse, I can't imagine it's that difficult. Obviously, if you know what you're doing. Obviously, it's funny. I feel like they're observing us now. When I'm tapping it, that was different. It's like the observers are observing. So I don't normally pick up on stuff like that. I just felt it recently. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, this is yeah, who knows? Well, another thing about all this, how deep you want to go into it, is you just ask for like clarity. Like, okay, if I'm connected to the multiverse, can the universe or my other self or whatever give me a sign of it that won't drive you insane? uh, there's just something to think about. Yeah, the whole thing about keeping your sanity is kind of important. Yeah, it's good to be careful. Yeah, but, you ask and you shall receive. They can give you information. They can't give you like the lottery tickets, stuff like that. Or you might be able to connect to another version of yourself that does have the lottery and all that if you want to connect with that. But yeah, it's the multiverse stuff is really it can answer a lot of questions within one's journey. Let's put it that way. If you're up for it. Others probably they just want their aliens and that's it. But that doesn't work that way. So alien contact too. With the multiverse, like dissecting it or becoming a little bit more aware of it to a certain level, it will tap you into the aliens eventually on a conscious level, depending on where you are, because they're observers of us too. So, but a lot of them are hands off for obvious reasons because they don't get pulled into our web. Well, that's the thing. A lot of these aliens that are helping us, can build up. They're learning from us so they can incarnate here. Like we're their school, so obviously we have untapped potential there. The whole multiverse energy is obviously a little bit. When you go within yourself, it's not that hard to really tap in. It's like, what was the first thing that comes to mind? Connect to other versions of it. It's just what is it that whatever it is, if you even need to know. Interesting, if you connect to another version of yourself, or you say an animal, that's different. So obviously, there's a lot of wars going on in other dimensions. For information to keep us locked down. Obviously, as we become more aware of what's happening here, that brings in more of the alien, the true alien connections. Of course, the aliens are all going through their own difficulties. They're fighting among each other, basically. And that can be also other versions of ourselves that are involved with it. Makes it even more complicated. So you have an alien version of yourself involved with all this. Another thing about, for some of us that are going to, when you exit, like when you live your whole life and you're done, you exit, you might wake up on a ship. You might wake up on because you're part of the alien military, you can say. Not the military like to take over or anything, but, just the Earth Alliance here to protect the planet, something like that. So, yeah, who knows? It's all different for everybody, but yeah, it's not supposed to make any sense. Sometimes the less you know, the better. But there's some things that you can know. But this parallel Earth thing is just, I feel like it's untapped potential. Because many are going to this SSP stuff, and that's great. That's fine, but the multiverse stuff is a little bit easier to lock into, depending on who you are. Just like I said, it's like right there. It's like parallel to you. So must be something there. It might be the SSP for some, but others, it all depends. Who knows? You can go on and on with it. Let's see. One version, another version, and just go on. If that's what you want to do. You can get lost there. That's what we're here to do. Get more lost. I was going to comic prep sessions. Schedule. We have a shop here. I forget where I'm at. I'm somewhere. Same situation here. We have the upcoming event in December. So the tickets here, and also those are going to be people that are going to be there. So very nice. We have a webinar next week and behind the scenes. Yeah, the multiverse of madness. That's us. That's this place. So the observer that at least it's in the show, if you're unaware of what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, this French, that's the vacuum. So I'm just diving more into their real world a little bit. And they're doing a lot of multiverse. There's other shows I've done it too. Sliders did it too, but Sliders got kind of stupid over time. But I think they're actually hitting on some main topics, and so they dumb it down. It's like the early version of it. I think something like this can easily exist for sure. So it's just, I don't know, building technology like that. Who knows? We're talking about free energy. We're not getting anywhere with that. But if you have the science around, if you have the funding for it and all, anything's possible. But Sliders got, I think it was pretty, serious for a while, and then it just became out there. Yeah, because it was happening. I think it was just getting too close. And the thing is about the wormholes. Let's see, Fringe. Let's see if they have that wormhole. Ooh. If they have anything here on that. Yeah, the portals that show up. I think they happen here, but we don't see the portals completely. And people do vanish and appear. Yeah, the missing person situation. They can take in other versions of Earth. And there's a whole nother society. Yeah, there's a whole nother. It might sound like science fiction, but is it? So yeah, the observer energy is like a Men in Black type of energy. Yeah, they keep us in line. So, and this is the Jesus. This is what I don't get. I don't think something like this it would be like this, but yeah, you plug into like your Jesus and you go to another version of Earth. This is the vacuum, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Well, this I don't think that I could be wrong. Who knows? Yeah, it's best to be careful what you wish for. You might know too much. Yeah, you might get closer than you want to get with some of this stuff. Yeah, because I channeled about over a year ago. My years are all off. I'm thinking like a year ago is like 2 years ago. It feels like, but I channeled what was it about Stranger Things, and then things got weird. So yeah, my cat died. All kinds of just weird. I got astral attack. It was messed up. So this is kind of that territory to a certain level. I'm still trying to piece it together. It's obviously a lot of it's blocked for obvious reasons, but it's something that for your own spiritual awakening realm. It's like I say, the Mandela effect. That's more little things change here and there, but if you connect to the parallel Earth, you can get more aligned to yourself. Obviously, you feel how lost this world is, but if there's a war going on, which there is in other dimensions, a universe trying to destroy another universe, like, jeez, lovely. Doing pretty good here. Yeah, you just never know. So, all right. Okay, we're going to Parallel Earth. Yeah, the Observer. So tap into the Observer and see what that's about. And then go to the Multiverse. Yeah, the machine, that Parallel machine, or the Stargate, and an alien contact. Get some kind of because the alien beings are all here just waiting for us. So you never know. You tap into this crazy stuff, and some aliens you might feel some of their frequencies. Like, hey, look, you're finally ready. So it's just a thought out there. At least on a multi-dimensional level, maybe not on a physical level, but you never know. So, because that's their realm, the multiverse is where they are. So, when they observe it to a certain level, they don't know everything, of course. Nobody does. Of course, you never know. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Blessings. Greetings. We are the observers. As you call us, another word is the watchers. We do have artificial intelligence built into our DNA. We just are aware of your reality, just as you are aware of what's on television or in your own lives. We just see the bigger picture. Uh, are we here to interfere with your realm? Well, it's you can say there are gatekeepers here to keep you on track, so the world doesn't slip into yes another parallel reality where everything can change. Yeah, instead of having a blue sky, you have a red sky, and just everything transform. It can happen. Um, Weather anomalies, anything can occur to truly turn your world to some other being automatically. So the idea is to keep your world on track of what you are familiar with. Yes, there's entities that are always controlling your society. That's nothing new. But it's up to you. Yes, how far do you want to go? Where you feel most safe, of course. There's it's basically you're just kind of following your own breadcrumbs to who you are. But realize go where you feel that's safe. If you feel like you're getting to a place like maybe I'm getting a little too ahead of yourself, then it's okay to backtrack and hold off on it. But if you truly want to dive in, just be careful. Because you can go beyond your safeguards and know too much about yourself, at least to a certain level. Not everything, but you might kind of freak yourself out sometimes. But yeah, it's like going into your own inner Stargate. And yes, there's therapists that actually therapists do it all the time to help you navigate yourself, at least on a third dimensional level. But you're basically navigating into your own hypothesis, your own science. Just some of you might see that you're part of why this world became the way it is. For certain reasons, you might not be proud of it, but it's kind of brought this world to kind of like the world's kind of frozen to a certain level. It's not as adventurous as it could be. It's like it's at kind of a freeze level. It's moving, but maybe not as exciting as some of you remember it as, because there are realities where it is maybe too much going on. Yeah, well, yes, I guess you could say like 1,000 9/11s at once. It's not exactly like that, but just more active, more adventurous. And that shows that can also connect you back to the conflicts of other Earths that are a little bit more open to who they are. Basically, like the planet itself is ready to own itself, know itself. Society here has been, it's kind of like you're being kept out of your own closet, out of your own shadow, at least the planet itself. Not everybody completely. But basically, it's like, the world is kind of treated like a kid to a certain level. It's like it's not ready to really see itself just yet. Now, some of you are, and you get very curious, but the rest of society is kind of like, oh, you're still you kind of treat it like a youngster. You aren't, but you kind of are, and just kept out of your own awareness of where you can truly go. What do you call it? The rabbit hole, how deep it can go. It's one way of looking at it. Yeah, I can see it. Yes, another version, I guess, find this all humorous that you're trying to figure yourselves out, and some of you actually will get somewhere with it, but the rest of society is kind of holding back. But it also connects you to your own universe. It does connect you to your own home universe. But there is a lot. Yes, there's a great amount of artificial intelligence energy here. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. It's there to rewrite history for obvious reasons. Well, to keep you away from yourselves. Like, you're not reacting invading the pyramids for obvious reasons because the world's not ready yet. But there are timelines where you do reactivate the pyramids, and you can say all hell breaks loose, but not the end of the world or anything like that. You just become a little bit more. You go deeper into your own book, like chapter 2. Where do you come from? Doesn't mean you have all the details of that, because realize where you come from is kind of sacred information. Is you all come from different places, and how this all came about is locked down for obvious reasons. You should know too much about yourselves. When you start knowing about that, you break free of this reality, this matrix altogether. That's why it's kind of shut down. A lot of mysteries are here for obvious reasons to keep you in the physical for now. Now, that does not mean you cannot reach deeper knowledge. There's nothing, but if you feel like you're getting deeper knowledge, but you're not really getting anywhere, oh, there's reasons for it. Doesn't mean you can't go further. It's just that it's not always meant to be. Yeah, somebody's going to stop you. You feel like, you can go further, but you feel like someone's stopping because probably somebody is. And they're not in the physical realm. Brings you, the consciousness of the multiverse, the technology. You're basically, it's like connecting more to yourself. Uh, there are, yes, multiple Earths that know about your planet. They're usually worried about it destroying itself before its time. Doesn't mean it needs to be destroyed at all, but someone's like, before you get to know more about, it's best to know more about yourself. You're going to have your own demise. Not that you would, but it's good that you have, like, the world has closure before it shuts itself down. But you can close this portal of this reality. Of course, many are still living it because a lot of them are planted here. Those who live in Africa, not all of them, but quite a few have been planted here to keep this world at the level it's at, the chaos realms. So you're giving an opportunity to know more about yourself, yes, to connect to your own trigger to unlock your own reality. So think like you're like within your Akashic record, but yes, you can't always access all of it, but at times you can. But accessing the multiverse is like accessing another library or a great amount of other libraries that might come a little bit too consuming. But yes, where Africa itself is in a different place. United States, there's obviously many versions of Earth, but the United States doesn't even exist. Where Africa is actually the main superpower, and it's quite a different place. There are places where Asia, of course, is a superpower, but it's like you have Asia, but you have the United States within Asia. We have Asia surrounding it, which is a little strange there for some of you to comprehend what everyone looks like. It's just that all these planets you see in your solar system, universe, kind of collided with your Earth and created all this. It's like they can build upon it, and so they did by creating all these pocket realities. So if you feel like you're on the outskirts of the universe, most likely you are. But you're coming as an outsider, so you're away from all this physical realm. Yes, of course, you come from physical realities, but some physical realities are allowing you to know more about yourselves, and you come here with more of awareness. And sometimes you have your aliens that you're remembering is a signature to remember one of the places you came from. So, okay, if I see a two-headed being, that's an alien, and that helps unlock yourself. So you see things, you observe things in your life, and sometimes it can trigger a memory. And some of you have aliens to trigger yourself for further awakening. And others are triggering themselves by seeing the aliens like, oh, they stay shut down because like, oh, that's all just nonsense. So they stay plugged in to the system for now, at least. A lot of them are just not ready. Just now, many of you are, and you're lighting that fuse, and there's nothing wrong with that. Be yourself. Some of you do shut down for obvious reasons. Well, you feel like humanity is not ready. You're probably ready, but the rest of the world's not ready, and so on. But it's time. But there are, and sometimes that's true, for at least for the moment. But then it's time to start the engine back up and go further in. And that's why we're speaking today. So yes, you connect to your inner Stargate when the time is right. I'll just leave you with that. But some of you have been as founding fathers of some of these countries. Of course, there's countries on other versions of Earth that are not here. But some of you have founded the United States and other realities. Some of you founded the United States, which is called Africa, which is a little strange. Yes, you have the little White House there. It's just a whole different, it's a little bit war zone like to a certain level, depending on the reality. Grace you. The consciousness of your alien contact. There are thousands of beings that do pick up on your frequency when you see us, when you connect to realms that we're observing. So a lot of us aren't paying attention to Earth. I mean, we know Earth exists, but we're not constantly looking at it. But as you start to dive into your own multiverse, multi-reality, even if you don't know what you're doing, you can tap into an alien realm easily. It's like, wow, what'd you show? Where'd you come from? So yeah, because it's all energy, and it does help you have alien friends. I mean, usually you can get to a friendly frequency, normally depending on your intentions. But so we see where like you come to our realm, and yes, we can take you further. At least on a healthy scale. Sometimes we do have to pull back because we can take you a little bit too far. But there are certain things that you're allowed to know here in this reality. It's like you're going to the next level of your existence here, basically. And it could be, yeah, you feel like you need to go places, go travel here, but you're really traveling within your own energy. And you don't always need all these friends and followers and all of that. That can be very distracting. When you just kind of put some silence there and connect within, and you just be surprised what you'll unlock within yourself. And that's the alien contact comes through. So the alien contact also is about wanting to listen, to hear us, because we are silent. We're not ignorant of your reality. You might think we're ignorant, and we understand why, especially spirit guides sometimes aren't always aware that you can advance yourself beyond the spirit guide realm. But there are many beings that you can access that can help you. But you find that yourself. You don't need somebody to give you guidance of. I mean, you can find your way. But you can get some clarity through others to get advice. If you feel like you're going to a higher realm, most likely you are. Of course, it's always good to check your frequency, clear your frequency out, make sure, yes, you don't have any attachments or anything like that. But with most of you are on the right track, don't have to worry about that. Some dislike attachments, they like the drama, so they get feeding into it, obviously. That's what gets part of some of that secret space program stuff. You just Oh, remember yourself being on a table with a bunch of aliens looking down at you. You don't need that experience. Unless some part of you still needs that, but many of you have moved past that and connecting to other realms, connecting to your astral, and yes, freeing yourself from a lot of these control systems here. There is many contracts. That's why things are not fully unlocked for many of you, because you have a certain contract you have to fulfill. Obviously, we can't go into details of it. Some will, but once you fulfill that contract, it all makes sense. You just get a download. Look, by the way, you just cross the threshold of yourself. So, so just keep observing, experiencing what you feel is best for you, and we'll be around. So for us to be around, you just know, or you just see us, you'll just know. Obviously, society itself, well, society does not believe in this. It's still grounded. Like I said, many are not really ready. Well, for obvious reasons. They can't even figure themselves out. They're still trying to figure out their own purpose. So, blessings.